pride for you, living life for you, but you still make me feel like I feel. You got me stealing your love away, 'cause you never give it. Peeling the years away, we can't relive it. Oh, I make you laugh, you make me cry. I believe it's time for me to fly. You said we'd work it out, said that you had no doubt. Deep down we were really in love. And I'm tired of holding on to a feeling I know is gone. I do believe I've had enough. I've had enough of the falseness of a worn-out relation. Enough of the jealousy and the intoleration. Oh, I make you laugh and you make me cry. I believe it's time for me to fly. Time for me to fly. Oh, I've got to set myself. Today we take a look at another REO Speedwagon song, Time for Me to Fly. Probably in the 80s, I'm not really sure. So I've seen him play this in a couple of different ways. The great news is the song has only like 3 chords. In the key of D, the 1-4-5, a D, a G, and an A. So for one, he plays it with open D tuning, and actually for the other one you need to retune your strings there too. However, this is a D major chord. A D, an A, an F sharp, an A, and a D. So some strings need to be tuned down a whole step, some remain the same, and one needs to go down a half step. And then from there you have a big D chord, which sounds really, really great if you ask me. Then here on the 5th fret you would have like a G, and on the 7th you would have an A. But what he does is actually leaving the 2 top strings open, and that gives you, using his thumb, I'm not a fan of it, but oh well. Leaving the 2 top strings open, so that gives the chords a really nice sound and flavor to it. So then you have like a G at 9 and an A at 11, like so. Gorgeous if you ask me. Then in another performance, I think it was the Midnight Special one, you can find it on YouTube, he would retune his guitar there too. But relatively speaking, you would still be in standard tuning, except all strings are tuned down a whole step. So then of course you end up with a D, a G, a C, an F, an A, and a D. I get into this a little more in the lesson, of course. However, and then play the song with chord shapes in the key of A. Sorry, the key of E. So then you would have E, A, and a B. He actually plays it in particular indeed as an E chord, but the A as an A sus2, which is similar to an added 9, but there is no 3rd in the chord, so that's why this is an A sus2. The same shape actually for B, a whole step up, so then you need your index of course for the bass note, and you end up with a B sus4. So, same thing for that one, no 3rd in the chord, but there is, well, a 4, and this one there is a 2. Anyway, and then go from there. But for both ways you need to retune the guitar. In my opinion, playing it in E, A, and B, I prefer it by far, even though I love the sound of like open strings there, and this is actually really nice. Maybe you can play it like so with 4 fingers. Oh well, it's a little bit of a hassle anyway, I guess. Then again, if you do not want to retune everything or anything, then just play chords like a D, a G, and an A, which actually the other guitar player does as well. Anyway, I show you all those, well, 9 chords then in the lesson. The challenge, in my opinion, is more about the strumming. Why? Well, not so much the strumming. That is simply like in double time, you know, like the speed of 16ths. For every beat you have like 2 downstrokes and of course 2 upstrokes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and so on. But the challenge is definitely the chord changes. They appear often on offbeats, like the and of beat 2, or the and of beat 3, or even the E of beat 4, which is an upstroke, by the way. So for example, in the intro, it would be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, like so. Or if it would be the end of beat 2, let me show you the same progression there, even though it's not the intro. It's not happening in the intro. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Or the E of beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1, or in one measure 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. Well, stuff like that. I break it down for sure. And I actually do like you know, the syncopated chord changes, and it really gives the song its feel, for that matter. Anyway, what else is in there? I feel like I forget something to tell you about, but this is what we're definitely breaking down. All the chords in the different tunings, of course, and then of course the strumming with all its syncopation and so on. Okay, now this is Time for Me to Fly, but there are other REO Speedwagon songs in Target, like In My Dreams, Can't Stop Loving You, Can't Fight This Feeling, and another, I can't think of it now. Indeed, check out the site for this one if you need more details and such, or for the other songs, and indeed, feel free to drop in at totallyguitars.com.